This summer school is in collaboration between the Faculty of Science and Engineering with the Global Engagement Office and the Provost Office of the University of Nottingham Ningbo, China. It is a showcase of our teaching methodology in contrast to most local universities. We emphasize a lot on reflection, teamworking, and problem-solving skills apart from the academic content. It's also a showcase of learning by doing approach adopted by our university. When I was approached by our Faculty of Science and Engineering Office if I can do this summer school, I have to think how to squeeze the learning experience of our students in University of Nottingham in one semester into 2 hours. So on top of this, it has to be multidisciplinary to reflect the reality of the engineering applications today. It has to be fun and yet educational to cater to the students aged between 14 and 18 years old. So I came up with this idea of building a simple mobile robot, the one that you can move and hit the wall and then it will reverse and turn. It is the combination of mechanical and electronics, commonly referred as the mechatronics engineering. I decided to divide the class into smaller groups as opposed to the traditional classroom approach. Each will have a trained student instructor leading the group and guide the high school students to build the mechanical and the electronic components. This project is divided into 3 phases: planning, instructor training, and implementation. There's a lot of background work at the planning stage. We designed the prototype of the robot chassis and a simple control circuit so that it can be built easily within the span of 2 hours, including testing. In the instructor's training stage, I have 11 summer interns. All of them are volunteers and my students. They are assisting me to guide the summer school students to build the robot. I have to train my interns how to teach summer school students appropriately without spoon feeding them. They have to learn how to build the robot themselves and most importantly, the confidence to face the inquisitive young students from the high school. Now during this stage as well, my interns help me to develop an easy to refer reference materials so that the summer school students can follow without any difficulties. At the implementation stage is where the actual teaching takes place. I begin the class by giving them an overview of the project and what we're going to do for the next 2 hours. And then we divide them into groups and each student instructor that I've trained will start teaching them on building the robots. As a result, not only the high school students enjoyed the class, our student instructor also received some holistic education, which they cannot get in their classroom studies. Now this actually develop their interpersonal skills in terms of how do you actually solve the problem instantly and think fast and think critically.
Yeah, to be an instructor, I think it's really a big challenge for me at the first. But sometimes I feel like being an instructor is very useful in my future career life. For example, before we instruct someone else, we need to get to know every single detail of what we are going to do. For example, in this project, we are built a simple mobile robot, and before we really instruct and teach the students, we must know every single detail of the robot structure and the principle of the circuit.
It's an amazing experience of teaching them how to build the robot, because many mistakes can happen. The wires, the transistors, and the breadboard. So you have to be really careful and aware of what is going on in the circuit.
I think the biggest problem of this project is that when we face a student, we must be a MacGyver. That is to say, we must act very natural to tell them where is the problem of the circuit.
I think the most challenging part is how to debug the circuit, because you don't know what what component is wrong in the circuit, so you have to check every single thing in the circuit.
The most memorable time, I think it must be the time when I spent my whole afternoon with the high school students, that they asked me questions and I helped them build the circuit, build the robot, I think. And in that afternoon, I become a true instructor. I think it's a really good experience.
When you finish teaching them about the robots and when they play with the robots, they are happy. So I feel so happy too.
So at the end, I think most of the students, including my own summer interns, enjoyed the process, although we hit a snack here and there, which is quite normal. I hope that we can continue to do this summer school with the same topic next year summer.